Okay, video number one, we stopped here at project management. So let's move forward. Step 5 is to identify lean metrics. Now this is a pretty simple step. What you do is, a metric is a piece of data that you have compiled based upon your process. And then what you do is you kind of take a look at the data, compare it to competitors or whatever, and then decide which metric you're going to concentrate on to make an improvement on. Now, this is the data from pages 82 and 83, and from your current state. This is a lot other data that all comes from pages 82 and 83. They've added some as well. And then what they're going to do is they're going to pick metrics, and they're going to try and improve those metrics. But a lot of this chapter also really talks about what do you mean by metrics? And so they give you a nice description. These are some examples of financial metrics that are in the book. Just kind of interesting. Calculations of metrics, if you will, uptime. But then, if you look at page 102, what you'll see is they've incorporated the metrics here at the bottom. These are current state metrics. And if you look closely, you can see my page numbers where these metrics appear in the data. Project submission number 3 is your current state, and notice they've added the production supervisor distributing orders on a daily basis, and their metrics. Okay, and there's lots of examples. So now you've got an area in which you're going to concentrate on and improve. How are you going to improve it? Well, that becomes the future state. What does your process look like? What does this process look like after you improve and take a look at these metrics and pick one or two of them in which to improve in your process? That becomes the future state. And the future state ends up looking like this. And keep in mind, there's a lot of information in the case study about what they do, how they do it, a lot of the calculations they make, and things like this. Then it ends up with this. This is more of their metrics and what they're doing, calculations, takt time, line balancing. You'll see all of that. But here's the cool thing, is that you'll end up with, instead of the current state, this case study decided to combine the crimping, the testing, and the marketing processes into one department, one process, eliminate the deburring. And so now they're down to this, and they recalculate their cycle time and their inventories and everything else. And this is your project submission number 4. Now, in the book, they describe what they did and why they did it. So you'll have to read that. And here's kind of one of the team members are confident that reconfiguring the old line into a process with 2 cells is a good way to sustain flow. And so then they go into a lot of stuff. They go into safety stock, buffer stock. You really don't have to go into any of that unless it works, but this is kind of the things that they looked at. Total productive maintenance, safety stock. They looked at all kinds of things to kind of improve their process. So the little bubble thing is their Kaizen improvements. I'll talk about that in a quick moment. But at any rate, take a look at what they've done. and how they've done it. You don't have to go into Helgeka, you don't have to go into the Kaizens, stuff like that, unless your project warrants it. Step 7 is create Kaizen plans. This is something kind of a little bit beyond what you really have to do. I want you to pick a project, a value stream. I want you to look at the metrics, and then I want you to make recommendations of improvement and then forecast what your improvements look like. You don't have to go too deep into Kaizen. All right, thank you.